Hello, my name is Hersh, and welcome to the HERshyt Show. Well, a little bit about it. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you'll probably cuss at me, but that's alright. I just want to bring to you the realization of what's really going on in this world that a lot of people are afraid to speak on. Enjoy. So welcome to this week's The HERshyt Show. I still got Lee with me.
You know.
Tell them your real name.
Alicia.
There you go. I'm still going to call her Lee. Don't call her Alicia.
Don't
Please.
call me Alicia. Oh, I'm about to say this right now on the HERshyt Show. Live.
It might be spelt like
Do
Alicia.
not call me Alicia. My name is Alicia. Okay? Alicia. Don't call me Alicia. Listen, because people think I'm being rude when I say it's Alicia. Oh, okay.
Alicia.
Listen, stop. I'm so glad that I now have a different last name and my married last name is just regular Freeman. You could just, because when it was Sydnor, people were like Schneider. There's no way you think my last name is Schneider. The N is not even nowhere in the beginning. So yeah. Don't call me Alicia. Because I'm not.
She's going to be here for the next few episodes. So y'all just, Lord have mercy. We just vibe very well together.
For sure.
Yes, indeed. So this week's topic, we're going to talk about liberation. Because, the freedom. Everybody wants some freedom.
Everybody wants
freedom. But
freedom ain't always free.
There it is. Right? To say that one more time.
Freedom ain't always free.
So, looking up the definition of, I said definition, Lord have mercy. But the definition of liberation, it was like to set free from.
Imprisonment.
Some type of imprisonment, to break away from the social norms.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you got your women's rights or women liberation group. You got your gay liberation group. You got the whatever liberation group and the this and that and the third.
Right.
But what really is the freedom of in a world of rules?
Oh, child.
And we talk about homelessness. We talk about, people that may not look to par like they have a lot. But, there's quite a few that really chooses
to be that way.
Yeah. To be that way because liberation. I don't want to have the responsibility to pay taxes. I don't want to have the responsibility. And that's your choice.
Yeah.
It's your choice. But is freedom really free?
No, it's not, because
somebody paying for it.
Yeah, somebody's paying for it, and then depending on what you're trying to be free from, it comes with, different things. If you say, oh, I don't want to pay my taxes, so
don't pay them.
You don't pay them, but guess what? That freedom ain't gonna be free.
No,
because them 3 letters coming eventually.
The IRS really isn't a government organization. That's a whole nother topic. We ain't gonna go back to the financial literacy that later, but yes, indeed. But there are people that I get it. Liberation versus communism would be completely different. I would rather be liberated than have a communist type individual in power. But at the same time, you're gonna have rules to life.
But some rules are just, I'm going to be honest, just ridiculous. Like right now.
Counterproductive.
Like with the COVID, the whole thing with COVID. Like in California, they were trying to, the kids that go to school, it is required. I don't know if they passed it yet, but they're trying to, if it's not already passed. They have to be vaccinated to go to school in California. Have to be. There is no way around it.
California is the most liberal state ever.
They want, like I said.
Are the numbers high in California?
I don't know.
I ain't been paying attention.
They're high, but the numbers are high here in Atlanta.
Cobb County the worst.
But the numbers are high everywhere. Shutting down for none. The numbers are high everywhere, but they literally are.
I don't think you should mandate it though. In our reality, certain jobs, yes. If certain jobs I can see because, and hear me out, and we had this discussion before. I'm not gonna look down on nobody that doesn't get it, and I'm not gonna look down on somebody that does get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But in certain positions, like me being a federal worker, mine is mandated. And I understand why. But at the same time, Kids?
They're making children. Like, they, like...
You know what that puts me in the mind of? Tuskegee Airmen.
That's
Tuskegee.
That's the thing. It's like, certain things should be... And then they're also... Because
they can't get enough data scientifically off of volunteers is pretty much what it boils down to.
And not only that, but it's like, it doesn't have, like, it's so crazy. And I just think that taking away someone's rights such as that, because even with immunization, you know, which a lot of people don't know, but like, they automatically think you have to get your kids shots. Your kids have to get shots. If your kids don't get shots, they can't do this, they can't do that. So there is a form, which a lot of people don't know about, that, you know, if you have religious beliefs or whatever the case may be, that, you know, you can do that form and then your children are not subject to having to get these immunization shots. Yeah. But with this new
Let me go ahead and put that out there. We are not politics and we are not swaying in any direction.
No, do what you want to do.
Do what you want to do. We are not scientists. We are not politics. We ain't none of that. We're speaking on opinions at the HERshyt Show.
Always.
So
and they're like,
do your own research. We're going to speak on our research. But you do your own research and make up your own mind as far as what you plan on doing.
For sure. Yeah, so that's one of the things they're trying to, like, take away with it. And that's what I thought was really bad, because it goes back to what you said. They don't have enough data or things like that.
That's pretty much what it is.
They want to take away the right to, even if you have these religious beliefs, you can't even use that against this COVID vaccine for these children. That's wrong.
I don't think that'll go anywhere though, because of the implementation of, like, it's the same thing with any medical board or PhD or anything of the sorts. You have to go through the IRB to be able to actually get, because you can't just do a scientific thing for data and without the sign off.
So you know what I mean? You think the vaccines are just strictly that they want everybody to get them for just to get the data?
You know, I don't think that it's really just for the data. I think it helps, because any vaccine that's been ever created, had to get some type of data from somewhere. And since we already
that's why they were paying people to take the vaccine.
But even like with the smallpox vaccine, with the flu vaccine, even though the flu mutates every year, some people still get it or whatever. Even with, you know, now they got the chickenpox vaccine. Back in the day, we had chickenpox parties. Like,
but we haven't even heard of anybody having chickenpox these days. You have?
Yeah. And even measles came back. So
this is the thing, because they're bringing them back to me. This is my opinion. Okay, don't come looking for me, breaking in my house and tying me up somewhere in your basement and saying that I said all these things against the government. No, this is just my opinion.
I feel like in order to be able to tweak a vaccine,
these are man-made.
But in order to tweak something, you have to have the data for different types of backgrounds, origins, ethnicity, gender, age. You have to have that statistical data to be able to tweak anything.
So do you think...
And if you don't have enough people volunteering, what they gonna do? Mandate it.
Yeah.
And I don't go against... When I was in the military, I got shot up with so much shit. I don't know what was in them, so I'm not going... And I got the anthrax booster every year from 1999 until I retired. There was like 1 year where they actually stopped it and then somebody threatened anthrax, so we stopped it. So, you know what I mean? So it's like, get it or don't. But I don't think that you should make it mandatory for children. Because
I don't think...
children's medical issues aren't really... formed it, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what their underlying issues may be to
I don't think it should be mandated for anybody, because even like you have healthcare workers that have said, like, on record, you know.
But everybody's different.
I still had to go to work even though I had COVID, and they just put me with the COVID patients. And said,
that's like a chickenpox party.
You're back in
the day, it's like,
I never been to a chickenpox party.
My mama, look, Vicky Lear found out the kids down the street had chickenpox. She was like, go play with them. Go ahead and get it out the way. No. I ain't lying. But back to the liberation, though. Are we really... People want liberation, but at what cost? If there was no rules, no regulations, no guidance, no nothing.
I mean, then clearly the world will be in an uproar, but realistically, it already is. You know, I think it comes to...
You think it's a regulated uproar?
It kind of depends.
Even if you was to live in if you chose today, like those in Hawaii that go in and pop up a tent and put their pole in there, but
they got some down, here in Atlanta. They're just
But like in Hawaii, a lot of people choose to be homeless.
Yeah.
They'll go and they literally are putting on their 3-piece suit going to their corporate office every day because the showers are right there on the beach. Why am I going to pay $2,500 for a 4x6 apartment? Yeah. Literally.
Yeah, that's like them in California too. Like
where I can stack bread and just live on the beach. So people choose to do it. In Atlanta, there's a lot of people that choose to do it, but there's also not a lot of resources in Atlanta.
Right.
And one of the latest homeless shelters was given over to the city for a fire department. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in 2016, somewhere around in there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. It's bad. But at the same time, it's like, what does liberation really mean? What are you free from?
What are you trying to be free from?
Yeah.
That's how, because it's like, okay, we can say, oh, I want to be liberated and I want liberation, but like you said, at what cost? Like, what, in a perfect world, and this is what I would ask you, in a perfect world, because how do you feel? Do you want to be liberated or how?
I feel liberated. I feel the fuck I want to do it to a certain degree. Okay. But I do what my pocket's freedom and sanity can handle.
Ooh.
So to speak.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
yeah. I do what my pocket, and I learned that the hard way. Right. You know what I'm saying? I do what my pockets, my freedom, and my sanity because I have too much to lose now. Right. Back in the day when you was doing your thing, you ain't had shit to lose except, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you was doing what you did.
Yeah, exactly.
Me too. Right. When I joined the military or whatever, it was like, they paying me to actually protect people. I'm good. It's a guaranteed check on the first. I didn't get a bonus. I didn't get none of that. And I was just living freely. But I had to be at the right place, the right time, right uniform. Right uniform. And then now that I'm actually out, they was like, and people be like, well, you was in the military, you know better. Wait a minute, do you know how many ragged ass veterans we got? I mean, not everybody, but you know what I'm saying? Like, veterans are still people.
Yeah, that's the thing. People set people, like, with these titles.
I want to be liberated from that.
You should be, from titles.
So, stop putting the title. That's why I don't like
expectations. People look at you like, you're not. And that's the thing, because I go through the same thing in some sense. People look
soon as they know your background.
You own a business, so you shouldn't be doing it. This is no lie. A lady, it was so crazy. She commented on one of my posts about my pictures. What does this picture have to do with taxes? This, that, and the third. I wish businesses will stop. They make their businesses look bad and they don't attract this. Like, what makes in
tunnel vision?
What I had to tell her is what makes the way that I look, because I don't have on a 3-piece suit and a calculator in my hand, that means that I'm not well equipped to handle things like someone else. Mm-hmm. No, that's your opinion. You see what I'm saying? Don't place me in a box.
That's like when women started getting tattoos. It was, you're never going to get a job.
Like, don't place me in, a stigma that says, if I don't look this way, I can't do this. Let me be free and be who the hell I am. Like,
that's being liberated.
I want to be, exactly. Yeah. That's how, in certain instances. Now, you know me, I feel how I feel about jail. Yeah. Like, I feel people shouldn't go to jail. Some people. I just feel like certain things you should not. You should not be prosecuted for.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
So we can talk about that too. But
all the way up to the death penalty, we're gonna talk about that too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
but you're right. So liberation is breaking free from the societal norms or the stereotypes.
Yeah.
So yes, I do agree with that topic when it comes down to being liberated. But at the same time, if we had a lawless world,
it would just be the purge. That's what it would be.
I mean, I don't mind 24 hours of the purge.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. If they gave me 24 hours to purge and I stay all the time, like,
I'm quite sure somebody coming after me.
But I don't want to kill anybody. I'm just gonna go get the money from the bank. Why do y'all go? Like, you want to kill people and then go right back to your broke life or back to your job.
That's what crazy? The purge was about.
But they said you can do whatever and you're not going to go to jail. You don't just have to kill people. You could have did anything during the purge. You didn't just have to kill people. You did not just have to kill people. You could have did something else.
But that's where that one-track mind comes in at too, and you allow your emotions to take over.
Yeah, you give me 24 hours to do something, I'm going to the bank. All of them.
Like
however many I get hit in 24 hours.
Y'all, yeah.
and then when it's over, I'm gonna have my money
and I'm good. Don't ask me to hold $5. You can't have that back. They said it was legal for me.
And then I'm gonna be liberated for real. Cause guess what? I ain't gonna be doing.
But yeah, so I mean, with liberation across the board, you know, there's so many young people nowadays. It's just like, and I love the attitude about it and the aspect about it as far as, you know, the rights and fighting for rights, because there's quite a few rights that still, and history is repeating itself across the board. But
the youth today though, and I applaud them because
they don't give a shit.
The thing is that, like they say, we're not our ancestors. Yeah, that is a very big slogan. We're not our ancestors. So these new generation, they are coming for. They don't care. Mm-hmm. They don't. They know, like, I'm gonna live my life. This is my life. A lot of them, and I love it. I love it. Keep on to a certain extent. But do it to a certain extent.
I was about to say, so you can, like you said, freedom ain't free.
Yeah,
freedom ain't free. It comes with a cost, and so at what cost are you willing to pay for that liberation? And then once it does become sort of a freedom to you of whatever you're breaking free of or being liberated from,
what are you going to do with it?
What's your next move? What's your next pivot? What's your next turn? What's your next... Now, if you do an about face and start going backwards...
Yeah, then what was the purpose?
Like, you can't blame nobody but yourself at that point.
Exactly.
You know, we can point fingers at anybody. We can point fingers at the government. We can point... It's up to us to vote.
Yeah.
It's up to us to get our ass out there and do what we supposed to do. We can't just bitch about it. Got to do something about it. It's up to us to raise or teach, reach one, teach one. It's up to us to, you know, get people to open their minds. It's up to everybody in society, not just one group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are you really liberating from? That's something to really think about.
And then I feel like liberation also just starts with yourself. Like, you know, figure out what it is that you want to be free from and start freeing yourself from it. Mm-hmm. Because obviously we cannot change these laws. You know, we can eventually. Yes, we can. I mean, eventually, but it takes enough. It's not going to happen overnight.
Nope.
So if
this country was by 1775,
it's not going to change overnight. So you got to start within, like you said, you are liberated. You do what your mental and your money and your time allows you to do. Mm-hmm. You know, so you got to be liberal on your own terms,
and you got to weigh is it beneficial in any aspect, not just for you, because I put myself in the spotlight all the time to benefit others.
Right.
I tell you my story so you could think about your situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you do the same thing. We speak from experience with no shame in our past.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? So the next person can understand it's okay to have emotions and go through transitional phases. But at what cost? At the end of the day. Until next time, this is the HERshyt Show with my niece Lee. 11:30 Financial.
Be sure to log on to youtube.com and subscribe to the HERshyt Show at THERshytShow. Brought to you by Aint Robinson's TV and Yellow Tub Creative.
Subscribe to The HERshyt Show on YouTube and Facebook. Support by purchasing merchandise at www.8robinsons.com.